So healthcare workers who have made so many sacrifices over the past year fighting the pandemic will be recognized at this year's Super Bowl. They deserve it. Around 7,500 of them will be in attendance as fan capacity remains limited at the game. Skyler Henry is in Tampa, Florida ahead of Sunday. Skyler, the frontline workers filling the stands are coming from across the country.
Hey, Anne-Marie, good morning to you. Yeah, we actually spoke with a few of them, all of them excited about getting the opportunity to come to the big game on Sunday. Interestingly enough, diehard football fans, most of them. We spoke with one nurse here in Tampa who said that she put together a few viral videos to try to get the NFL's attention. Well, it worked. They saw that video and they're sending not only that nurse, but a few of her colleagues to the big game as well. Check it out.
It took a pandemic for America to fully appreciate healthcare workers, and now the NFL is joining in.
Invite each member of your team to be our guest at the Super Bowl.
About 7,500 vaccinated healthcare workers from across the nation will attend Sunday's Super Bowl. That includes Florida nurse and Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan Rebecca Izquierdo.
Oh my goodness, we are so excited.
Rebecca and her coworkers sent the NFL a video asking to be among the healthcare heroes at the game.
Then we got the phone number for the NFL headquarters and we started calling them. So we were stalking them pretty much.
It worked. 24 staff members from Sarasota Memorial will be in the stands, and so will Rocky Walker. He's a chaplain at New York's Mount Sinai Heart Hospital, where he spent many challenging days visiting seriously ill COVID patients and comforting staff.
What's the last 10 months been like, just breathing that in and out every single day?
I've seen I think the worst things that I would ever want to see in the amount of death, the indiscriminate nature of the death. But there's a flip side of that, and I've seen mankind at its best.
The chaplain received his ticket from Patriots owner Robert Kraft, but he's a lifelong Kansas City Chiefs fan and says he can't wait to go to the game. He says he's representing millions of other healthcare workers who've risked their lives during the pandemic.
I got to tell you, Anne-Marie, when you think about where we started with this pandemic, to see that now these healthcare workers who had to endure everything that they did all throughout last year being able to be recognized and honored and have a little bit of fun here at Raymond James Stadium on Sunday, it certainly is surreal, and I know that the healthcare workers that we spoke with feel the same way.
You know, what you point out in that story there is sort of when it comes to a good sports story, it's really just about sort of the human story. And there's this really interesting overlap. There's a Chiefs player that actually sat out this season because he wanted to join the front lines with healthcare workers during the pandemic. What's going on with him? What can you tell us about that story?
Right. Well, he was actually a starting offensive lineman in the Super Bowl last year that the Chiefs won down in Miami. And during the off seasons, he actually took that time to actually go to med school. And he actually got the blessing from Kansas City Chiefs, their head coach, Andy Reid, to do so. And actually, in his mind, it was med school first, football second. And the entire Chiefs team organization supported him in his efforts here. But as you mentioned, he decided to opt out of this upcoming season, or I guess this past season, because of the pandemic, to try to help as much as possible. He is actually working at a long-term care facility, treating patients there, and also putting his medical expertise to work in that effort here. And it should also goes to show just the type of team that the Kansas City Chiefs are, right? So that player was essential to get them to the Super Bowl last year. We should also mention that his replacement actually got hurt for the season. So now when you take into consideration all of the things that the Chiefs had to overcome, it is certainly impressive. I should also mention this, Anne-Marie, I think you might like this. He's a fellow Canadian.
I like it. There's all kinds of overlap. Fellow Canadian I love, Andy Reid. We know him very well from his years in Philadelphia. Great coach. Yeah, that's all kinds of feel good. And, you know, after you've already won one Super Bowl, I mean, what's another one or another one? Not that I'm saying that the Chiefs are going to win. I don't know. Hey, listen, before I let you go, just sort of set the scene for us. I know usually when there's a Super Bowl in the city, there's sort of crowds of people. They get up early. They're always walking around the stadium. There's a lot of festivities. What's it like now? You know, we still got this pandemic going on.
Right. Well, typically in Super Bowls past, shoulder-to-shoulder activities, events, tentpole events, you know, those big parties that celebrities like to host, that is not the case. Instead, we are starting to see specific events that have coronavirus safety protocols in place. We were at the Super Bowl experience that allowed tens of thousands of fans to come out, but they had to follow certain protocols in order to remain safe. And here at the game, that will be the same way. We know those 7,500 healthcare workers will be here, but the fans who do come to the game, they have to wear masks. They will have to remain socially distant, and everything from concessions to ticketing will be electronic. So again, just trying to make sure everyone remains as safe as possible while also enjoying the big game.
Sounds good. Skyler Henry, thank you so much. So just a reminder, you can watch Super Bowl 55 live this Sunday on CBS. You can also stream the game on CBS All Access, CBSSports.com, and by using the CBS Sports app.